Alright, so I can hear both. That's good. Alright, so we're just gonna quickly go into, is it community? No, team manager, that's it. Actually I might exit without saving. I might reset it again because we've had a bit of updates since we last did the stream. Saving. I might reset it again because we've had a... yes, I am sure. Okay, so list manager. Okay, so Nicholas Dib, Begg, Johnson, Bay, and alright, so we need what's his name, Stengel, and I'm pretty sure he's still on Adelaide's list. Who's another one? Go to Geelong real quick. Where is he? Oh no, I'll do there's a custom made player because for some reason in AFL Evolution 2 is a midfielder, so we'll get the custom version of him. Doggies. Actually, we might go West Coast actually. Where is he? Cameron. Where's Cameron? Jared Cameron. Yeah, apparently it's only just been recent, but apparently we've had interest in him for at least 12 months, but apparently Cameron might be coming over to the Pies. Actually, I need to go back over to Collingwood and go recruit player. There's a West Coast. Yeah, which is pretty exciting because I just saw his highlights and he doesn't look half bad. Jared Cameron. Who's the other one? Lipinski. Hey Kev, yeah, nothing much is happening. Just having to update the players again because we've had well, we've only had really the one rumor that Cameron is Jared Cameron is looking to come over from West Coast, but yeah, just want to update the thing again. Where is he? There he is, Lipinski. I think Richmond. Okay, Richmond. Where is he? I think that's about it. Everyone else I think I've got. So, and then I'll go get there's a Kruger that's been made. That's just better because I don't know if you can change where they are position wise, which is weird, but there's a Kruger that someone made in the community, so I'm gonna use that. I probably need to check what his name is first because I always get the Kruger name wrong. So I'll go Kruger. That should get him. And he was in a Geelong jumper. Yeah, there you go. And alright, so save that player. And then go back to team manager, list manager, Collingwood, recruit players, delisted or custom. Okay, either way. And then Yeah, save, and then we'll start the season. Oh, okay, cool, mate. Yeah, I hope it all goes well. Yeah, I'll get rid of that because I think I only played a game or two in that, so. We'll go 3.5 minutes. Yeah, we'll go Rising Star for now and see how we go. Let's see. Kind of going there. I don't think personally Noble will be in our best 22 if we get who we're going to get. Especially considering that Rusko had the season that he had. I'd rather have Rusko in that back pocket personally and just keep him there. Yeah, I think that back line's pretty settled. I had Oscar Elliott, so Oscar Elliott's there. This is where we get Lipinski. Might as well get Kruger in there now. Replace Cox. DeGoey will go there to Adams center. Because Adams is probably a better center player than he is Rover. Dagos I would have on the bench only because when it comes to him, I think he needs to stay in the midfield, so keeping him in the midfield the way he does that will be through going off the bench. But then if we need someone in the forward line, Dacos is more than capable of doing that. Stengel, get AJ in there. I reckon Jared Cameron's a mid. He's probably not a mid right now because he's still only young, but I could see that because he's got a little bit of speed. Might be like a wingman or something. Yeah, Nick Dacos has to be there. I think I got that. I might just leave Cameron out of it for now. So I might wait till... Because I feel like it might be a situation to where we'll either get Stengel or Cameron. Well, there was also the other thing too. I think Cameron said that he was going to have a year off or something. Like, so I'll have to find out more about that. But and then also as well, I'm not too familiar with the delisted free agency rules, but apparently we can actually get Stengel through delisted free agency because he was delisted. From what I'm hearing, I think if you're delisted, you just stay as a delisted free agent forever, basically. So I don't think we have to use a pick for Stengel if we actually want him. We can just get him through being a delisted free agent, which that would be fantastic if that's the case, because then we don't have to use any picks, let alone a rookie pick. Cameron's going to be a little bit different though, because he had played. I don't think he's been a player where he's been a mainstay. I could be wrong because I haven't watched a whole lot of West Coast games over the last few years, but I would say he'd probably be the type where he's probably played like half the games each season. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's played 20-30 games. And yeah, by the sounds of it, it sounds like he was going to take a year off or something for some reason. I don't know why, which I found a bit strange, but Yeah, but yeah, I reckon that's probably the side. You put Sidey on like a half-forward flank, Ollie Henry half-forward flank, because Ollie Henry's disposal, like the way he kicks the ball, is actually really underrated. I really rate how he kicks it. Stengel and Elliott in the forward line, like that's pretty good. You got Grundy, Pennebury, and DeGoey. I mean, there's really not many better ruck lines than that, I reckon, in the competition. Then you got Lipinski, Adams, and Hoskin Elliott. That's a pretty underrated centre line. And then you got Crisp, Moore, Maynard. Crisp and Maynard are probably more halfbacks than back pockets, just due to their aggressiveness and drive through. I guess when I just get the footy, I guess. And then Howe is that general down back. He's the one that keeps everybody calm. And Rusco is just the guy where he's just cool, calm, and collected, and you know, if he has a target, he just hits it. And then Roughhead we know, and Moore we know. Roughhead's the more solid type, like similar to, you know, going back 10 years ago now that he retired, but you know, someone like a Presti sort of thing, or someone like a Nathan Brown, just a stocky guy that just wins most one-on-one contests. And then you got Darcy Moore as the more athletic version of a key defender. And then you got Quainer, Dacos, and Ash Johnson. I'm sure there's probably a couple people unlucky, like obviously Finners is unlucky, and guys like that. Poulter, extremely unlucky. But yeah, we'll go with that for now, because I'm pretty sure I've got this on injury. The injury severity is on like 100, so hopefully that means I can force to rotate players through. But yeah, we'll just continue through and play some AFL Evo now. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting with the Cameron stuff, because yeah, it's only because apparently we tried to get him last year in the trade period, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, I'd be keen to find out what his asking price is, because it wouldn't be anything much either. He'd be in that bracket where we might be able to get him for like the 4th round, maybe like the 3rd round or something. So I mean, it probably won't happen, but I mean, maybe someone like a Sia for a Cameron would be a similar trade. Maybe Sia in maybe a Cameron in like a 6th round or 5th round. Sia would probably get it done.
Couldn't go on with it.
Oh no!
Ball goes out.
Thought I had that on the probes, not. In fact, I'll share the stream
We'll get the ball tossed back into play. The ball is coming back into play.
Give me a second as I tweet out the stream. Yep, there we go. I think that's about it. Can't really share it out anywhere else. Alright. Hey, continue to play some footy.
Grundy got the tap. Narrowly avoids the tackle. The umpire calls for it. Myercheck won the hit out.
I'll get it.
DeGoey wins the foot race.
Wait, where's Grundy at there? Maybe.
Grundy goes with the kick.
Oh, here we go, Simon.
Yes. He goes for broke. A good result there, and that's a goal for Collingwood. Gets some reward.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Jared Cameron is, at the moment, he's like a forward type, so he's that sort of
he gets his hands on the footy. That
quick forward that's got like explosive speed that I'd imagine he'd be similar to I'm trying to think of a Collingwood player that would be equivalent. Probably like a Bo McQuarrie, or the probably Bo's probably a bit more stockier, but
puts boot to ball. Side bottom drops the mark. Looks up with a kick. McLean with an easy mark.
I don't really think of many other options though.
Moves it by foot. Doing well with the mark. Probing kick inside the 50. A race for the loose ball.
Come on.
Finding the loose ball was Keith. A great mark taken there. Hacks it out of there.
Ooh.
Nice mark under pressure. Pendlebury to have the shot from outside 50.
Oh no.
Going for goal number 1.
Oh wow, that's only 4.
That's a really poor kick. The kick goes out on the full from Pendlebury. Slams it on the boot. A good mark under the circumstances.
Yeah, so for those that are tuning in, we're just on a bit of a season mode at the moment, and
looks to move it by foot.
yeah, I've got the list updated to a bunch of the players that we're into getting this trade period, so hopefully you guys enjoy the content.
Penalised, unable to create the space. Great attack on the ball carrier.
Not really many options. Might just
Tips it towards half forward.
give Pendles a chance. Yeah, there you go.
It has to be a big kick to get it from there. An ideal position to be kicking
There, I
from.
can get it. Can't get this timing right.
Pendlebury with the opportunity. Kick on the way. Hooks the kick. Considering the options
Struggling
on the
to
kick
get this
in,
timing
decides to
going.
play on. Keith moves it now. Martin uses the body well. Puts it on the boot. Good mark. And looks to send it back. Heads long with that kick.
Come on, bounce. Yes!
Got sails between the big sticks.
Got the bounce right.
He acknowledges the crowd. This is how they can score, Big Hunter.
I might actually change my thing over, because I've noticed that a lot of the things are on the left side, so bear with me, guys. That should be better, because then you can see like
it away with the ball
stats
now.
and stuff
Hacking
whenever
it out
a
of
goal
there.
happens.
Crozier found some space and marked. With a driving kick, the ball finds McLean. Wins the race to the ball. He gains possession. Ends up with Crisp. With a burst of speed.
Get through.
Moves the
Good.
ball by foot. Elliott with the mark.
Yes.
Big kick required from this distance.
Yes, there we go.
Likes his chances from here.
Yep.
Is excited.
That's straight through the middle, no doubt. So
He puts through his first goal. Elliott, love kicking that one. That came off the back of some...
there you go, that's better.
Tap down. He has the ball. Ball up call. Can you tell us anything at the moment, Gaz?
There's just not enough effort out there at the minute.
Sends it clear of the contest.
Yes.
Winning the ball in the air was Stengel. Opportunity once again for Collingwood to
He
put
can't
one
make that
through.
distance, surely.
Distance might be just beyond him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Ooh, Green.
He might kick a goal.
Oh, he's got
It's
it.
a huge kick, and it goes all the way.
It was gonna fall short though.
Stengel enjoying that goal.
There you go, Stengel's first goal as a bye.
The end of the final term sees the score stand. Collingwood 26 to Western Bulldogs nothing.
Collingwood could come out.
Pendlebury, the #1 ranked player on the ground. We're ready for
Also,
second
as well,
quarter
if you
action.
haven't liked the stream, guys, don't forget to like it. And
Grundy with a punch.
yeah,
Adam
just
brings it out of
enjoy
the pack.
yourselves and enjoy the content coming.
Bontempelli spent it before he earned it. We'll have another ball up. Grundy won it down. A clean pick-up. Slick with the hands.
Oh, Stangle 2 in a minute.
Going for goal number 2.
Yeah, he's got it. Get around him.
No doubt about it. They stretch their lead with that effort. Look at him. Thrashes it. Taken by Trelaw. There'll be a ball up in the centre square. Hammers it. He's got the football now. Drives it out of the pack. Looks like the ball will be coming back. Got boot to ball. Wood takes the mark. Goes by foot. Marked by Williams. He drives it. And the mark will be paid.
But I might actually raise difficulty because we're kind of cruising through this a bit easier than what we should.
McRae kicks the ball deep. Gardner, the better man there. Dishes it on. Doing well was Liberatore. Liberatore
Throwing
throws the ball
geez,
away.
alright, that's a bit harsh, but alright. I'll take it.
Move it on. Moves the ball along the wing. Has a man running for him. 52 collects the loose ball. Elliott getting in on the act.
Yes, in the back.
Collingwood would love to make the most of this opportunity. Elliott heads for home.
Is that going to hold on? Yes, it is. There you go.
Look at them celebrate.
That's a real...
Alright, so we're 38 points up. Bit of a smashing at the moment, but...
The tackle over.
Oh, there you go. High tackle. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go
He
long.
puts it on the boot. The mark has been taken. Uses it now. A chance to go to the ball. Liberatore is streaming past and gets the footy. What do you make of the game so far, Gary?
I'd really love it if these teams took the contest to the next level.
He earns a free kick. Move it on. He's been told to play on. Elects to kick. Rough air takes the mark. Uncontested.
Collingwood have the lead, but they're allowing plenty of opposition marks inside 50. They need to fix up that aspect of the game if they're to stay on top.
Chose to kick it.
No.
Johannesson marks.
I wasn't supposed to kick to him, I had to leave.
Works it across the ground. The loose ball picked up. Grundy releases it under pressure. The loose ball scooped up. Releases by hand. He can take off after that handball. Just manages to release the kick. The ball spills free. Takes possession. Seen plenty of it. Duray kicks hurriedly. Drops the mark. Bruce releases the ball. Moore clears the congestion. Daniel couldn't snaffle it. 52 ran out of space.
Great tackle.
Does well to keep it in play. Unfortunately, not for long as the ball
We've
goes
kicked it
out.
in there,
Ball
450,
over
which is
the
good.
boundary line. Toss back into play. Myercheck won the hit out. Clears the ball from the contest. Picking it up was Howe. Finds a way around the tackler. Brings it out of the pack. A mark by Hunter. Uses it by foot. Ends up turning this ball over. Moore elects to kick. We are approaching half-time. Duray kept coming and won the ball. All kinds of pressure being applied.
Great tackling technique.
Works the ball up the ground. He gives chase to the footy. Elliott with a chance for a
Come on,
third
get that
goal
checkers.
today.
Yes.
Wants to play on.
Good work. Oh, jeez, the siren nearly went there too.
He's enjoying that.
That goal will be a real confidence boost. You can see he's up and about now.
There we go. Ball up.
An intriguing first half as it stands. The Magpies 44
Sorry,
play
guys.
Western
Alright, that's the end of
Bulldogs
the first, I
0.
think, isn't it?
Any thoughts from
At
you guys?
half-time. Alright, so
Ready
we got
to
2
begin
quarters to go.
proceedings in the second half. Wins the ruck duel. Kicks out of the congestion. Dug it out. Quickly onto the boot. Kept alive under pressure. Couldn't complete the play. Ball out of bounds.
The sting has been taken out of the game right now.
Martin slaps it away. Scoops up the ball.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks for the help there.
A chance to reload the attack now. Kick by Wood. Well taken at ground level. Sinks the slipper into it.
Come on.
Open opportunity for Stengel. Decides to kick. 52.
Yes,
takes a
good
strong
work.
mark.
Alright, Kruger's having a shot. I believe he's left footed from memory. This should be no issues for him.
Going for goal
And it should
number
go
one.
straight
It's
through.
going to be close. He celebrates hard after that. Collingwood lead Western Bulldogs.
It's great to watch, Hutto. Plenty of excitement. Collingwood needs to be more aware of the opposition set up at the stoppage. Their hit-outs are getting cut off too easy.
Take it there. Come on, Ellie. No. The
Johannesson
contest.
slams it onto the boot. Decides to keep it alive.
Him.
Keeps it alive under some pressure. And the
He just
ball
ran out of
ends
bounds
up
there.
over the line.
Didn't even change direction there.
Ball tossed back in. Won the hit out. Finds the loose ball. Dugowie collects it. Dugowie.
There you go, high tackle. Oh, he's gonna.
Called to play on. Goes with the kick. Pendlebury grabs that
He's
one.
right.
Collingwood
got
are
there.
allowing too many marks inside the opposition forward 50. They continue
Yes,
to
checkers.
compete in this area.
Yes,
They'll
good
find it
work.
difficult to keep the lead.
Surely this is a goal.
Takes the shot.
Coming back.
Looks okay
Yes.
off the boot. Myercheck loves that.
There we go, ball up.
Slapped away. Great control there. Gets the loose ball.
I had him.
McLean has resources out wide. Hunter plays it on. Collected by Adams. Finding the ball with ease. The kick from Howe. The ball spills to Bontempelli.
Great tackling there, Hutto.
Crozier will get a ball up on the wing.
Well, this game's really getting out of hand.
Grundy got in a better position.
Oh, that looks like it's down the
That
full.
kick goes out on the full. Roughhead sends one up towards the wing. Puts it on the boot.
It's gonna have to go one
Stengel
here.
was surrounded.
Oh,
He
thank
needed
God.
to mark it, and he did. Uses it now. Does well to cut off the kick. Interesting handball. At full stride, receives the handball. Got hands to it. Johannesson gets the loose ball. Myercheck gets in the way.
Come on, Elliot, get there. Oh, I reckon he's gonna.
Elliott takes a
Yes.
strong mark. He looks like he needs a spell. Able to release the kick. Hurried kick. They chase after the loose ball.
Ollie, yes, there you go. Goal for Ollie.
Collingwood are taking advantage of their ruckman's ability. It gives them first use at the stoppages and forcing the opposition to defend.
Intercepts the ball well.
Yes, there we go. Oh, you got Pendle's
Not
there.
long left in the third term now. Keith needs to lift.
That's right, Hutto. He just can't seem to get into the game.
Come on.
Grundy on the tap. Dug out the loose ball. We'll get a ball up. Western Bulldogs with a lot to think about. They trail by 62.
Collingwood fans will be hoping they can hold on and get a memorable victory today.
All right.
Here's Gary to take a look at the key stats.
Collingwood lead the contested possession at the moment, and they're
Last quarter action, ready to go.
can't afford any mistakes from here. They have to be perfect.
Yeah, here we go. So
Won it
up
down.
by 62 points.
Martin gains possession. Grundy struggling to run at the moment. Henry links with a teammate who can run. Finds his man. Has it now.
Get that good.
Stengel there to mop up.
Oh, Market.
Takes that one
Yes.
strongly. 25 metres out. The angle's a big ask for Tidebottom. Wants to bend this one through.
I don't know how this is going to work
It
out.
goes it alone. Looks okay off the
He's
boot.
kicked it. He has kicked it.
Congratulated by his teammates. Collingwood lead.
Geez, that looked
now
alright on the
68.
replay.
Tap came from Martin. Trelaw, hurried kick.
Punch.
Bruce gives away a free for in the back.
Yes. Good.
Gets it away. He wins possession. Just
Oh,
handballs
God.
into space.
That wasn't great.
Lipinski now.
Come on, Chris.
Chris
Pick it
picks
up.
up
Pick
the
it up.
loose ball. Chips it towards half forward.
Yes.
Marking in space was 39.
They can just slow the game down now, take a bit of time off the clock.
Marks now and can send it back. Duray uses it by foot. A big contested grab. Pumps the ball long. Finds a bit of room to mark. Goes the long option. Stands tall and marks. Ward kicks hard along the boundary line. Decides to kick. Marks all alone. Williams kicks it. Gets into a good position to take that. Cuts the kick inboard. Needs a bit of a rest. Chris dug out the loose ball. Elliott keeps it moving.
There we go.
An
Oh, God.
opportunity for a third goal.
Oh, I thought he was just going to bounce and not touch on the ground.
They get around him after that effort. Now they lead by 74.
He did really well there and gets the reward. They're looking more dangerous inside 50 now. Great reward.
There you go. That's a bit better.
Western Bulldogs need to be far more competitive with their clearance.
Taps it down. Collects the loose ball.
Ooh.
Grundy gathers it now.
Hey.
Found a way to keep it alive. He's got the footy in his hands. Johannesson drives the kick. Doing well to intercept that kick. Goes with the kick. Picks up the loose ball. Cleanly picked up. Makes it somebody else's problem. Wins possession with the ball now. The ball mopped up. Puts on a bump. Key gets the handball away. North gets a quick kick away. Elects to kick. It's a foot race to get this one. Hits him hard. He has the ball. He gains possession. They can create from this.
Yes.
Didn't get away from the tackle.
A great defensive effort.
Yes.
Handball's out in front. He's got the footy in his hands. He's in his
Good work.
possession.
Another goal here, and this game could be
These
well
checkers
and
just
truly
absolutely
over.
stuffed.
Just gave it away.
Literally
Puts the
doing
handball
everything for the
Vandermeer.
team.
Linking by hand. Adams hacks it on the boot. Missed the target. Outruns the tackler. Gathered by Tagoe. Releases it under pressure. Liberatore might have overworked himself there. Takes a simple grab. Uses it by foot. Stuck the mitts out there and held onto it. Looks to move it by foot. Dunkley marks in a bit of space.
Ah, come
Stabs
on.
at the kick. Marks that ball uncontested. Hunter with the opportunity in front of goal. Decides to play on. Sinks the slipper into it. Great grab. 45 metres out. 45-degree angle for this shot.
There you go. Final sign. They didn't even score.
Just unable to capitalise on that opportunity. Not a final final scores.
Alright, there we go.
Up 74 to 1.
Alright, we'll see if there's any suspensions or injuries. I don't think anything came up, so if there is anything, it'd be a surprise. A surprise. Okay, so team management. Okay, now it's just gonna go back to what it was. Yeah, no, this team's really changed now. Yeah, this team's way different now. I'm not too sure what I'll do here, to be honest. How long have we been going for? Yeah, not even 40 minutes. In fact, I might need to get out of this anyway, because I need to go to where are the options. I need to get rid of the music. There you go. Because I'm sure I'll probably get copyright claim for that. Knowing YouTube. Alright, let's go through some Collingwood games that we lost and see if we can rectify that. Because I know what the Essendon one, that would be pretty cool to do. If we can do that. We have got... Oh, that's week 1. I that obviously. Oh, we're not in that. Alright, so we need what, 6 goals? Yep, sounds about right. Alright, let's do this. We'll do... We'll put it down to Rising Star for now. And I think we'll need to go into what match options to change it to 3.5. Alright, do that. Hi Bella. Yeah, so just doing a bit of a AFL Evolution 2 gameplay. We're just doing a bit of match center at the moment because the I was doing a season mode, but it ended up all the players were jumbled everywhere, and it would have just taken too much time to fix up, and so I might as well do this.
The umpire set the bounce to restart the game. Clark cuts it off, has it now. Goes by hand to Parrish. May doesn't make the tackle. Gathers it now. Gets it out of congestion.
Get it out, get it out. Punch.
Ball collected. Goes for a run. Goes by foot. Henry gets on the end of it. Puts it into space. He's got
sold myself into trouble there. Oh, there we go. This is going to work out. There we go, and Elliott's got a mark. That you would think would be pretty easy for him, but then again, people have missed from closer in. Ooh, hold, yes, there you go.
Pretty happy with it. Back in the middle as the ruck Away, takes possession, intercepted, mops up the loose ball.
Come on, go,
Side
go.
bottom, collects it.
Kick. Come on, hold it slow, hold it slow.
A good job keeping it in play
Oh,
there.
yes.
Kicks hurriedly. Elliott continues to dominate this contest.
Oh, it's still in.
Redmond puts it on the boot. An easy grab for
I thought that was going to be a goal there, but was it Elliott on the line, picked it up?
McGrath elects to kick. He gets above the crowd. Moved on by Shield. Clark marks up contested. Puts boot to ball. Doing well to intercept that kick. Slams it on the boot. Great mark under pressure. Got boot to ball. Takes it well. Elliott, long way out. A chance to put a second goal on the board. He blasts it through for another. He's excited about that one.
There you go, alright.
You just knew they were going to score.
Yeah, definitely Bella. Can definitely see Pies doing well next season. Not sure if you know Bella actually. There was some rumours that just came in just recently that we're showing interest in a West Coast player. His name's Jared Cameron, and he's similar, not similar, but he's gonna probably fill in that forward pocket role where you know he'll probably be there to obviously kick goals, but then to also put forward pressure on. So he'll probably be competing for a spot with guys like Bo McCreary and guys like that. So, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, because we've had interest in him. We tried to get him last year in the trade period, but it didn't work out. They just couldn't find a trade. But apparently those rumours are popping up again, and we're just as keen as we were last time around. Oh god. Yeah, apparently we're just as keen this time around to pick him up. So we'll see how he goes. If we pick him up, it'll be great because he does look good, and that probably takes a little bit of pressure off us to go get someone like a Tyson Stengel who used to play for Adelaide. But I mean, if we pick up both, then that's fantastic too. Yes, Cameron.
40 metres out. He heads for
Oh, good Bella.
Deciding where to go with the kick in.
Yeah, so we're looking to get either Cameron now or Stengel for that forward pocket spot. For someone that just puts on pressure. So if we get either, it'd be fantastic, and if we get both, well, then that's a bonus. That was a bad kick.
Umpire tosses it in. Running out of time in this match. He wins possession. He has the ball. Clean pickup by right. Cameron with an opportunity. The kick towards goal. Cameron doesn't even come close. He's put it out on the full.
There you go.
Not a great performance.
Wait, what happened?
Final scores are 83
Oh yeah,
to
that's
70.
right. We weren't doing the season mode.
Thanks to Gary.
Completely forgot about that actually. I'll try and reset it and do it again. Because for some reason I thought it was a season mode. Because yeah, I think we need to kick what 6 goals in 3.5 minutes. We can do that. Just need to be focused and need to know that that's what the job is.
They have to go quickly to have any chance from here.
Wins the ruck duel. Side bottom kicks out of the congestion.
Ah, come on.
Can't take possession. takes it well. Gets a quick kick away. Handballs to no in particular. Shield was taken high in the tackle.
Come on.
Moves it by foot. The kick releases the pressure. May earns the free
Yes,
for
there
that.
you go. I'm just gonna
With a
go
driving
long.
kick. Hoskinelli didn't mark it. I haven't seen him for a while, Jazz.
He needs to find a way into this game.
Hempel didn't see what was coming.
Big tackle.
Grundy.
Yes.
35 minutes out.
There we go.
Going for goal number 1.
Yes.
So,
Alright, 5 more.
centre
5 more
bounce.
goals we need, I think.
Grundy thumped it clear. He's the number 1 ranked player on the ground.
He's the
Oh,
most
no,
dominant
just keep it
player
straight to
on the
him.
ground at the moment.
Is in his possession. Does well to cut off the kick. Clears the contest. Dug out by Clark.
Make sure
Turns on the
that.
gas. To go.
There we go.
Smiles at
It hasn't always been.
We're back in motion.
Essendon could get him beaten at the coalface. They need to rectify these
Ooh, here we
clearance
go.
numbers to give themselves the best chance going forward.
Chose to kick it. Henry gets
Yes.
it.
Away.
Should be relatively straightforward from here. Going for
That's
goal
another
number
one.
1. Kick on the way. In. We're back in the middle. Grundy with the hit. Side bottom comes away with the ball. Cameron marks it. Normally a pretty good kick. Let's see what he can do here.
Oh no.
He drives it towards goal.
Yes. Yes.
And he
Because that was actually on the yellow. That actually just snuck through.
They get her back in the middle now. Winning it was Grundy with the ball now. Releases the handball. Has a runner alongside him. He slams it towards goal. Cameron has some space.
Yes.
And marks.
There you go. Cameron's got himself a goal too.
Just love that one. Still anyone's game from here. Thumb clear. Has it now. Clark just gets it onto the boot. Finding the ball was Maynard. Chips it towards half forward. Cameron does well to
There
mark.
we go.
Elects to kick it long. Thomas.
Yes.
uncontested.
It's about the same, but I'd rather Thomas kick it than Cameron because Cameron's already got his goal. There you go.
They'll snatch the lead.
Goal for Thomas coming up.
The drop pass goes straight between them and congratulated by his teammates. That is 6 in a row for Collingwood. They've taken the lead. Umpire ready to resume play. Grundy got a fist to it. Goal!
Yes, there you
Tackle.
go.
Didn't get away from that tackle.
Oh, we're actually in front now.
Scoops up the ball.
We'll make sure we hold him the
Adams
lead.
unable to apply the tackle. Looks up with the kick. Picks up the loose ball.
Oh, good. Alright, 3 points in it.
And the umpire calls for a stoppage.
Oh, it's tense out there at the moment, Hutto.
Thumped by Grundy. Collects the
Oh,
loose
here we
ball.
go.
Takes on the space. Ridley got
No.
up,
Oh, he's
but
dropped
couldn't
it.
bring it down.
Has he dropped the
Clear
World
free.
Cup?
Just
He
put
might have.
both hands and
Wait, how did he get a?
keeps the kick
How
low.
did Essen get a free kick?
Side from Cutler. Moves the ball by foot. Takes the mark. He drives it. Scoops it up. Uses it now.
Oh, come on, come on.
Looks like the ball will be coming back. Laverde uses it by foot. Finds this and marks well. Pine kicks it. Finds a target. Goes by hand. Handballs to a teammate.
Oh, got him.
Holding the ball.
Alright, hold it, hold it.
Coaches love to see that kind of tackling pressure. If they just maintain
Oh, no.
possession and hold on to the
No.
ball for a moment, they should be
Maynard,
able to
why
hold
did you
on
do that to
We'll
me?
get a stoppage.
Alright, 2 winning now.
Grundy thumps it clear.
I was gonna get you to run into it, Maynard, and you just left me for dead.
Incredible match. How did you see that one, Gary?
It's a devastating result for Essendon. They left everything on the line and couldn't get it done.
Oh, man.
Final scores are 86 to 83.
Alright, so we'll now move on to the next thing, which will be, what, round 22 when we played... Who did we play? That was that Brisbane game, wasn't it? Alright, that should be some alright content then, because I'm sure at one point, because we got beaten pretty badly that game. That'll be a bit of a difference. Where is it? Round 22 we played. Yep, there you go. Oh, don't know if we're gonna get that difference, but we'll try. Oh, no, not. Well, Collingwood, obviously. We're gonna see if we can. Wouldn't that get 2.5 minutes? I don't think we can do it in 2.5 minutes. Alright, I guess we'll have a crack at it. Something, don't we got to get like over 10 goals? Over 10 goals in 2.5 minutes? I don't think so. But we'll see.
We have 1 quarter of footy ahead of us. Let's go.
Oh, they've got to take
We
some
need
risks now.
about
They
71
can't afford
points.
to waste any time.
Guided
They've
down
got
nicely
12
by
goals.
Grundy. Taken well at ground level by Leicester. Looks for the short option. McStay kicks
what?
in heavy traffic. Marks
Punch.
now and can send it back. Kick by Dacos. They chase after the loose ball. De Goey must kick this goal.
Come on, get there, get there.
The ball ends
Yes.
up with Myercheck. That's
Good.
a well-executed kick for a goal.
Of course, Hunter.
Look at them.
He knew that was...
We're back in the middle to resume play.
Brisbane ruck work needs to be a bit better. Too many of their hit-outs are getting sharked by the opposition.
Collingwood fans would love to see this one sail through.
Oh no.
Can he put it through?
Oh,
it's wide.
we can save it.
He's missed the lot out on the
Man.
ball. The kick from Andrews. Finds himself in space and marks. Leicester moves it now. De Goey has it. Elects to kick.
See
Virgil
what?
flew high, but didn't hold on.
Oh, is that a goal?
Looking to bring it back into play. Rich determined to reach the ball. Gathered by Tazovic. Picked off the deck. Mops up the loose ball. He gives it a ride.
There we
Listen
go.
to the fans celebrate as busy. Back with another centre bounce. Grundy thrashes it. The loose ball picked up. Ball up in the centre square.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do this.
Brisbane aren't making the most of their hit-outs. It's going straight to the opposition.
Oh, goal. Oh.
The ball spills to Gardner. Disappointing kick. Time's running. Andrews searching for a teammate. Plays on from the kick in. Decides to kick. Ends up turning his ball. Not sure if he has the journey from here.
Oh, don't know if that's. I think that's green. Oh, that looks alright. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Yes. There you go.
The game is back underway. Tap down. A chance for Grundy. Moves it by foot. Myercheck did well to win that ball. So what could 40 metres from home? He decides to go for home.
Yes. There you go.
Pretty
God, how many goals do we need now? Like
We
eight.
resume hostilities.
8 in 4 minutes.
Grundy
Yeah,
won
we
the
don't have
duel,
enough
takes
time.
possession. Umpire circling. and pings him. Side bottom finds a way to hang on.
Constant pressure and rewarded.
Thank you.
They just need to find a way to work back into the game right now.
Ball gets cut off, and now Danaher.
Ball's pinned. Thank you.
Grundy just slaps it down. They really need a goal on
There
the
we
board
go.
now. He's back in the
Seven.
middle, has the rucks go at it. Grundy with a big fist on it. Finds the loose ball.
I'll have it.
Ball up in the centre square. Grundy thumps it forward. Controlled well off the bounce. Starcevic couldn't dispose of it properly.
Out.
Looks up with a kick. Myercheck slams it home from long range.
I did my eyes just to save me.
Today. Not much to gain from that performance. Gary, what did you think of today's game?
Yeah, screw it. Why not? Let's listen to it.
After this performance, they just weren't quite good enough today, and it shows in the
Alright, let's put
score.
this on stream.
Thank you, Gaz. Final scores at 114 to 81. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Gaz.
Well, thanks for having me. That's all we have time for. We'll see you next time.
That's why I think it'll be a very tough club. If you look at their best teams, so they made the most you saw enough of Henry, Oliver Henry's in it, yeah, Holter, Ginnivan, Ray McQuarrie, Glenn McRae, Roscoe came in the year before. So they're going to get Nick Dacos in, going to be a star. McLean is getting better and better at playing that role in defence. So Ash Johnson came in season draft. I think he's going to be a for him. He broke his finger. He got there and never played for the year. So they've got some really good depth. And then Lipinski and Kruger come in. Kruger, sure, back or forward, but Lipinski can go straight into that best 23. And the best 23 I'm writing down here, I haven't got Oscar and Elliott in there either. So that means they've got a bit of depth here. Their forward line going to look like, and this is not a big change for Collingwood, I'm playing more key forward. So I'm playing him in the ruck
Fuck
with
off.
Grundy. That's a 1-2 punch that not many clubs can even get close to. He is a really good forward. Now, you're going to have to take him out of defence. So he's still got Roughhead for another year. I'm putting Will Kelly in defence now. He has wretched luck with
No,
injuries
you're
over the
not.
past few years. He's a really good defender, and he can play on those tall blokes that we spoke about before. How start here, he's going to come back and be better. Maynard been fantastic for them. And in the midfield, I'm going to put I'm taking him out of defence midfield and putting him in with De Goey and Tyler Brown. Tyler Brown did his shoulder and had a Rico. I've got him in there. Pendles doesn't need to be in there anymore. So, but that gives you a real Goey in there. And we saw how De Goey was as a midfielder when he probably didn't use the ball as well and he went sideways too much instead of going straight. But he's going to be a star next year with his fitness levels up. And I know he's having a massive crack at the moment. But when you put more in with Elliott, a Cox/Cameron, whichever one that is, a Dacos and a Myercheck in your forward line, a Henry, and here's the other change. I'm playing Adams more as a forward. I want him to push the ball up too much as a midfielder.
What?
But what he can do is apply a massive amount of pressure in the forward line. He'll kick goals. Now, he'll come into the midfield, of course, but he's a great player to bring in second half of a quarter into your midfield as a forward line. But I'm going to play him more in the forward line. I want some real dash. The blokes are going to kick it along and take the game on. Makes a few too many errors from what I can with them. So they've got some really good depth. That's without Murphy. Rusco was Noble and Nadgen were great back there periods, and I've got what do I do with Sidey and Pendles? I'm playing on the wing at the moment, so but they can basically play wherever they
Am
like.
I hearing what I'm
Really
hearing?
good
Seriously?
depth there. Tohill came along really nicely this year, but he had to go back to Ireland, so he's a brainiac. He had a choice. He actually qualified to go to the best school in Ireland for medicine. He had to make a decision by the end of this year, so he's gone back. Braden Shaw, I don't know where he's at. Tom Wilson, these blokes are all capable of playing league footy. Max Lynch improved that aside as a ruckman, and he's got some suitors there. If someone's looking for a young ruckman, I'm not sure. I think he's out of contract. So I've got some really good depth here. And Mark Keane's the other Irishman. Now, I know he's back in Ireland playing Gaelic at the moment. So hopefully he comes back because I really liked him and he could play in defence as well. Great depth. I reckon they've got out of jail a little bit with the players they picked last year and a few the year before. I think this is I'm going to pick them to make the 8 next year. I think their game brand, the way they play is going to be really quick and they're going to move the ball and each forwards won't know themselves, and that's why I'm playing more. Very, very difficult player to play on Darcy Moore as a key forward. He's
Shut the...
and if he played in the ruck, definitely he'd win the Brownlow medal because I don't think anyone could keep up with him. And he'd take marks and he'd kick goals. But you've got Grundy there, and it's going to be a great one.
Darcy Moore is literally a top 10 best player in the competition if he plays centre half back. Anywhere else on the ground, he's not even in the top 50.
I don't know much about him, but he was at the Rabbitohs in the rugby for 5 years, Essendon and Geelong for 5. So he's done his apprenticeship, and hopefully he's really good because they lost a really good one in Kevin White.
Incredibly positive. The Pies fans want to hear from you. So essentially, we know why they made the trade 12 months ago, and it turned out to be pick 2, which they never thought it would be. And the Giants certainly wouldn't have banked on that, and they're laughing all the way to the bank right now. But based on that, getting
Adams is a
forward so
forward.
much combined into, you're not at all worried when a team gives up a first round pick and it ends up that high. You don't think it's going to hurt them at all long term because of the cost of the reason.
Oh no, it's not ideal. Mm-hmm. But in fact, it just adds to what happened last year. Last year, it's been a horror 12 months because but no one in their right minds thought that Collingwood would finish second to bottom.
No way.
They would have said they're going to make the 8. They made the 8 the year before. Why wouldn't they do it again? But it turned into a disaster. Second bottom. So no one would have picked that. And as it's turned out, they could have taken Dacos and taken the next best player in the draft. So they ended up with 3 players out of that trade last year. They ended up with Poulter, who played some really good footy on the wing for them this year. McGuinness, who I rate highly and had a lot of injuries and didn't get the team, and McCreary, I think, is going to be a really good small pressure forward. So they ended up okay with players. It just ended up being bad that they finished second bottom.
Dacos one's interesting because, I mean, some would have him 1, some have him 2, 3, so he's definitely a top 3. And look, we can be greedy a little bit. I mean, obviously they've given away that top pick and they got picked 2 and 20 and 30, or something.
24 and 30,
24 and 30. So they got their 2 players through the door, 2 extra players through the door. They're still getting that number 2 pick, which is Dacos.
Yep.
So really, in the whole scheme of things, yes, they're going to have their picks absorbed later on in terms of their pick 36 and whatever. So really, you're not missing much.
Because you're getting him.
So yes, it would be nice. You're still banking on not selecting Dacos as 1, because if they did select him as 1, pick 2's gone.
But also as well, imagine all the AFL articles saying about how we tanked this year.
So they've got Dacos as
Like,
the next best player in the draft.
we can't win either way.
Is that player going to be better than the combination of McGuinness, Poulter and McCreary? So that can only answer in the future. In the future, in about 3 or 4 times, see who gets picked 3. So those, and because they know they're going to lose those picks, that's why they've gone after Lipinski and Kruger and going to use maybe future, or they're going to have some players going out. I think players like Sire, Tom Wilson, Max Lynch should be opportunity.
The thing, Matty, is the thing about having two in your hand, though. It's even if he was bidded at pick one, Akos, it's what you could have done with pick two once they bidded that.
Exactly.
So they're the things that would have been nice to. On draft night to go. Okay, what can we do now? We could have done a deal.
Exactly.
You know, three late first round picks through the door for pick two and all that type of stuff. So that would have been nice to have.
Let's see how valuable pick two is that GWS own, and see if clubs come to them, try and split that. There's been talk that they'll try and split the pick two.
I think
Shut up.
if I was
Seriously.
the Giants list, they'd be after the best.
If you don't think Dacos is a pick 2, you clearly haven't watched him play.
Available in the draft.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know whether it is one that's rated that highly.
Well, Josh gives
The fact that we traded out that pick and we got, what, 6 players in the top 40 odd? 40 in the top 45? Like,
if you go inside 20,
and there's a massive reason why we have a extremely bright futures, because we traded out that pick and we're going to get Dacos as well. Like,
someone caught him out one. He goes to that club. He goes to North. So they changed the rules. So if you've got a player, NGA at your club, it's called out outside 20. The bidding process happens. I think inside 20, and Mac Andrew will go top 5. And my information is that he'd probably go to GWS. Now, he's just to describe him, he's a 201, really skinny Sudanese kid. I watched 2 minutes of him. I've gone, he's got some skills and some talent and can run.
Who's their captain, Collingwood?
Pendles.
Anyone else?
Well, they got a.
Has he put his hand up and said that he's not going to be the captain next year? I just made that up.
I would hope he can be captain next year.
If he's
I
not
called for Darcy Moore, I think, on this show this time last year. I said it should be Darcy Moore.
If Pendles isn't the captain, is it Darcy Moore in your?
For me, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
you would be right if
He's,
Darcy Moore
he's got
wasn't
legs
currently injury
all
prone
over
at the
him,
moment.
Darcy, and he's a captain obvious. There's not quite great.
For really, Collingwood to have a really good year next year and jump again. Brady's the player that's got to live. Like his last 2 years have been below par. At his best, you know what he's like.
I wouldn't say below par, but probably below expectations, because he's had such high expectations, but not below par.
I haven't seen that the last couple of years.
No, little bits and pieces we saw this year. Okay last year, but I had him about the best ruckman this year. Some of his stuff was really good, but he just, there was no direction, there was leadership, hold on his effort, the ground level and the tackling. And maybe he was looking for a change in hierarchy more than anyone. He didn't handle the hub life too well, because he's also a brainiac and loves to study. He doesn't like to hang around with all the other players. So I'm expecting a big spike from him. He's a proud fella, and he'd be jealous of Maxi, because they made All-Australian 2 years in a row, 18, 19, I think they were both in it. So he'd be jealous of Maxi holding that cup up, and he might want to try and do something about it.
Get involved, Pies fans. 1300 23 55 48. That's 1300 23 55 48. Off the text, Matty, who do you think has star potential, the young players at the Pies list?
Well, Oliver Henry, we saw enough of. We've got some Stevie J stuff in him. Take the mark, ball around, kick goals in all different ways from Mark Sample, which I love in a forward.
Yeah, good, Kev.
He obviously needs to get fitter and stronger. But,
Just listening to Matt Rendell just talk absolute crap.
Reason. He just got better and better in his run and excellent. Holder was good. Matches against to pick up his intensity. He got enough of the ball, played enough good games to show that he could do something. I like Brusco off half back. Really nice composure. He got flustered, and they can play tall and small. He's got some real spunk about him. And Finlay McRae started really slowly when he came in, but his last few games were excellent in the midfield. I said, take him a while to pick up the pace of that midfield. and I thought he was really good. They've got some. I've probably missed a couple of players here, but they've got some really prospects. But Bo McCreary showed enough. You know, he kicks 3 goals a game as a. That's hard to do. So did Jack Jenner. So Trent Bianco showed enough. Games 2, he faded late. Another skinny kid. The bloke they need to get up the top. I think he has not continuity, shoulder window. And he should be playing as an coach because that's his really good at stuff. And
Not until Tyler develops his body. Until then, he's an outside mid that's on the wing.
55 48, 1323 55 48. The Kogan mobile open line is open. Your thoughts on the other side? The select trade for MEGT?
I was just going to say, watch out for Ash Johnson.
Well, positivity, Pies fans, you want to hear from you? Get on the Kogan mobile open line next. 1300.
Fuck, I should get on this.
They say patience is a virtue. So is winning instantly with the Monopoly game at Backers.
I'm really curious. Well, I mean, I'm sure he said his explanation why Adams forward, but Darcy Moore forward. Oh man, this is why we had the issues that we had the issues last year with Darcy Moore. Is he forward or back? Like, it's so clear that if you put Darcy Moore in the back line, he's easily, top 10 best players in the competition right now. But if you put him in the forward line, he's probably not even cracking the top 50. So why would you put him in the forward line? Unless if you've got like a super stacked back line, and especially super stacked key backs, there's no point putting him forward. Man, honestly, hearing how this guy talks, I don't even know how he gets jobs in the industry. I really don't. Alright, I'm gonna mute that for a bit and we'll continue on with a bit of AFL Evo, but oh man. That's just... There we go, game day. Huh. This is taking a while. Alright. Alright, well, how is everyone doing? Everyone doing well in the chat? And we'll go to match options and we'll go for 5 minutes. I reckon 5 minutes is about right to get this done. We were about just over halfway when we did it 2.5, so 5 minutes should be plenty. So if we don't get it done, I obviously didn't play good enough.
Let's see what this last quarter throws up.
They need to get a move on if they're going to win from here.
Back in the middle now. One down. He's got the football now.
Here we go. Ginny.
Great mark.
Oh,
Thomas
here we go.
takes his
Thomas over the
sights on the
top.
goals. Heads it inside 50. Elliott wins the ball in the air. 40 metres from home.
Ah, come on.
This kick to keep some hope alive. The ball goes out of bounds on the full. Bailey uses it by foot. Gardner controlling the airwaves on this occasion. He drives it. Adams puts it on the boot. Great mark in the pack. Lining up from a 45-degree angle.
Ooh, this might be alright actually.
Going for goal number one.
I think he's not going to get the distance.
Nice hands, Elliott.
Ah, there you go, the
25
Elliott
metres
will.
out. The kick will be from a 45-degree angle. Good-looking
Yep,
kick off the
goal.
boot, and it sailed through. Look at... About to resume hostilities. Grundy palmed it down. Puts it on the boot. Spent that one before he earned it. Keeps it moving. Goal! Myercheck lifts his teammates with that goal.
There we go, alright. So we got the ball rolling, so what we need another
Centre
10
bounce.
goals.
Brisbane needs to do a better job and gain more clearances at the moment. They're getting beaten in the contest and it's affecting the
Come
scoreboard.
on.
Intercepts the ball well. Gardner kicks it out of the back 50. Had the pressure bearing down. Made the tricky bounce look easy. Dishes it off to a player
Here
on
we
the
go,
run.
Ginny. Hey Tom, how's
Gets the
things?
reward for his efforts. Plenty of time to peg this
Oh,
margin back.
here we go, back with Matt Randell. Let's hear what this vlog has to say.
So he's the one who takes that joins the elite, but he has the potential, when he is, but when he wants to get to that level, he's after it's something he can stage.
Yeah,
What do you think?
look, it's a good point. He's X factor. There's no doubt about that. He's been a great. He's gone well. 18.
I'm assuming he's talking about Degoe.
They move it slow. Everyone becomes ineffective. So, but Harvey took over. They played him in the midfield. He showed what he can do. He can get 30 easily. Just saying that game plan that they had means that too many of his kicks were going wide instead of going straight. He's got pace. He must be seeing what Petrarca's doing. He saw what Stringer's done this year, what Dusty's done in the past, and he's very similar. So I think you'll see a star next year for him. Play him in the midfield. He's got to get his body so he can play week in, week out, big minutes in the midfield. He's going to cause some serious havoc in the midfield with better game plan than they've had in the past few years.
But he coming out of contract the end of next year.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. So
It's generally
Yeah, when it comes to Degoe, if he's injury free and plays 23 games or 22 games, he's top 5 in the Brownlow.
So their cap's still tight.
Maybe top, at the very least top 10.
So I assume Kruger, Lipinski coming in, some players have to go out. I just don't know who. So they've got more going, about 800 each at the moment with 1 year to go. Grundy on about 9. So if more to go have the year that I think they can have next year under the new regime, they're going to get offered $1 million other clubs. And can you keep them? Can you have 3 players, $3 million in your list? Has anyone got that? Has any club got that sauce in your time? Can you remember?
I don't think anyone's
Because that could be what it comes to. If Goey has a year we think he could have, and more, especially if he plays as a forward.
you just hope the club. I mean, from a player point of view, is sell the picture of the story of going. Okay, this is the club. This is where you sit within our pay structure. Sure, you can go get money elsewhere, but this is our future, and this is where we've got to get to. Because when you start getting $1,000,
So
and then you don't leave
some of these good kids, and you lose them. So the key to this is what happens next year with Collingwood is the environment gets created by the new coaching team and by everyone in the football department. The spirit morale they create and the culture the culture they create. That will be the big issue.
Wait, is this?
The spirit morale they create and the culture the culture they create. That will be the big issue.
Wait, is this?
The spirit morale they create and the culture for going playing for less money next year at Collingwood.
It's a lot of money in 12 months' time, and again, not at all disagreeing because the money will come, and it has come for go in the past, and he's chosen to stay. He'll be a free agent in 12 months' time, albeit restricted. There's a lot of money for no premiership to have 3 players on your list. Now, we know why Grundy, Grundy earned his cash. Darcy Moore, all Australian, earning the opportunities and to go in all the conversation we just had. But if you all of a sudden are getting squeezed up by 3 players in that amount and don't have a premiership that traditionally drives up these type of prices, this is something we don't see a great deal of. Premiership's one thing, oh so close. We know we're stars, but oh so close, but no flag is an interesting proposition.
Yeah, and you look at Geelong and Dangerfield, Selwood, Hawkins taking less money to get Cameron in. And now we know Cameron's on about 900, but it might be back in, and maybe Selwood's got 1 year left, and maybe 2. It could easily be back ended. So, and all the successful teams over time, the players and the Geelong teams when they were successful, winning flags, well renowned that they took less money to stay at Geelong, and all players have over a period. So, really interesting times. But the first thing you've got to do is create the environment where the players not want to go anywhere to start with. Then you can start talking about finances and how you're going to fit them in. But you've got 2, Derek Hine and Graham Wright, very smart people. I'm sure they'll get it right, but I'm interested to see where it goes.
Matty Rendell, have a look at Collingwood. All thanks to Ego Power Tools. Think outside with 56-volt Ego Power Plus outdoor power equipment. Before the break, we just want to take Con in Brunswick. Wants to talk Craig McRae and obviously linked to this culture and the happiness of these players into 2022. Con, fire away.
G'day, guys. Love your work. Just wanted to know what you think Craig McRae, Justin Leppich, and Brennan Bolton will bring to the Collingwood group, because as a Collingwood supporter this year, quite frustrating watching the footy this year with the ball that are quite stagnant, going backwards, going sideways, and pushing the ball on the way to the 450. So just want to get your thoughts on what we can expect to see next year.
Yeah, look, they'll still be strong defensively because, Craig was at Richmond. They're strong defence, real strong defence. So were Hawthorn, even though, they didn't have such a great year. But what they were strong defensively, and that was with Sicily and then using Day and CJ at the end. And Granger Barras hardly played at all, played about a handful of games. So they were still really solid defensively, Hawthorn. They were impressive. So they'll bring good defence again, but they'll go straight and fast. You've got to make use of the players that you've got on your list who can run and go straight and kick it long. And that's Goey, Chris, Maynard, Noble if he's playing Quainer. Adams, but I've had him playing a different role. Rusco loves to run straight and fast. So they've got some players who can play that way, and they'll be looking at Melbourne and going, well, that's how they played. Look what happened to them. They were stodgy there for a while too until they've realised, we've got to go fast and forward. So I'm sure the players got Craig McRae's job.
Where is it?
355.48. Don't forget, we've got Sauce here as well, who is the trade whiz for Wiz. Book your end of lease clean with Wiz. Quick break, plenty more on the late trade for MEG text.
Live the life of a property mogul with the Monopoly game at Macca's. Collect the set of properties.
There you go.
What gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money? Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's
And he's yep, that looks about right. Do that there. Alright, we'll continue on with our stuff and we'll wait for that to come back. And then we'll listen to it when it does.
Bottom keeps coming. Good mark there.
There we go.
This is kickable by his standards. Might be too far out to score.
I know he can kick this in the AFL, but I think with his play
This
rate,
game
I
is
don't
slowly
think he
slipping
can kick
away.
far.
They must convert here. Going for goal number one.
Yes, Henry.
And delivers.
Of course,
There we go.
Henrique's got it. Does that give them a chance now? His teammates rush over. Big thump from McInerney. He gains possession. Hoskin Elliott clean from the half volley. Puts the foot down. Got boot to ball. Steady hands there as he holds
Ooh, over the
back.
top.
Lobs the
JT,
handball.
there
And
you
the
go.
chance at goal is taken by
There
Goldwood.
you
Thomas
go.
delivers a bang
Kev's been in and out at the moment. I think he's got he's had an appointment around this time, so I think he said he would be back around 5:30, which is already past that, but I'm sure he wouldn't be far away, and I'll get him in the voice chat so you guys can listen to him, and we can go from there. But yeah, I'm expecting Kev to be on in the next, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. I'll send him a message in a couple minutes, maybe when this game finishes, see where he's at. But there you go.
Fantastic pressure there.
Kev, are you ready to go? I'll put you in the voice chat.
Blasted inside the 50. The ball goes over the boundary line, deep inside 50.
Oh, okay, all good.
The boundary umpire will toss it back in.
Right now, I'm only seeing one team really.
Yeah, we've been listening to Matt Rendell talk for a little bit, and oh god, he's been talking some absolute shit. Like, yeah, no, all good, mate. Yeah, no, he mentioned he reckons it was best for Collingwood to have Taylor Adams forward. You know, apparently going forward is his best position. Darcy, yeah, actually Darcy Moore going forward. I think he said he couldn't see Hoskin Elliott in the best 22, which I think he was saying that he reckons Tyler Brown will take his spot, which out of all the takes he had, that was maybe his best one, because Tyler Brown could overtake Hoskin Elliott, but you'd pick Hoskin Elliott first over Brown just purely because of credits in the bank and the fact that Hoskin Elliott has got so much more experience and Tyler hasn't really built into his body yet. Which, you know, gives someone like a Hoskin Elliott a little bit of a leeway. But yeah. Oh mate, just when you get on, we'll dissect everything he said. Oh. It's Matt Rendell. Who do like? What else do you expect?
He has the ball.
Thank you, I'll have it.
Yeah, he reckons Darcy Moore is better as a forward. Because clearly, you know, being a top 10 best player in the competition, playing centre half back is not good enough. He needs. Oh, there you go. We're back now.
They've lured their triple premiership playing star James Kelly back to the club as an assistant coach. So Kelly, a name all supporters know well down that way. Also finished
Let me
his
know if you
career
guys
best
can
in
hear it too.
313 games, I think, but he won flags at the Cats in 07, 09 and 2011. And he does return, almost the first one back in
don't
after
even
the
get me
big clean
started,
out
Tom.
of Chris Scott's coaching team. We know that Matty Knights has gone to West Coast, Corey Enright to St Kilda, Matty Scarlett's stepping out of footy for a year, we think, and Nigel
he's still
Lappin
there.
remains
He's
there
still on the
for
panel.
now
He
as
still
Steve
haven't
Hocking
kicked him
comes in
out.
as the CEO
He
and
still
the
haven't
man
kicked
who's
his
become known
dumbass
as
out.
the agent of change, Adam Cooney, and there's
Right.
certainly been change at Geelong
All right,
already
awesome.
this off-season.
There you go. Sam Edmund earlier today. James Kelly going to head back as they fill some vacant spots underneath Chris Scott. For mate, internet and mobile, Australia's most satisfied NBN customers. Internet from $59. All right, Nina's in Mount Waverley. Matty Rendell has ripped apart the list and the 2022 prospects of the Pies. You can
I can't wait to
podcast it
hear
at
these
Trade Radio.
supporters
Check
give
it
him
out if you
shit.
missed it. Nina, what did you make of it? What do you got for us?
Hi guys. I was just wondering, because we talked about it a little bit before, that of course John Ruffett is coming towards the end of his time. Maybe a couple more one-year deals, but there is a prospect that Collingwood is not going to have another key tall forward. Do you guys think that maybe we should look into the rookie draft for it, or what are your thoughts?
Look, my information
Kruger is the
that,
answer.
there's a kid that they took in the pre-season, mid-season draft called Aiden Begg, who they've got really high hopes for, 197 centimetres. He missed a fair bit. He missed all the footy this year with injury, and he missed a bit last year too. So watch out for him.
But he's
next
only
year.
a
He's
kid, though.
18 or
You
be
can't really
19 this year.
ask much
And
of
the
him.
other one is Liam McMahon, who they took in the draft, round 30, pick 30. He's another 195 centimetre key
Again, too
forward.
young, too
I
raw.
saw him play against Frankston early in the year. He was really good.
Tom,
kick forward.
technically Begg is
so
a
look for those
ruckman,
two
but
players,
because he's only
next year,
197
couple of
centimetres
tools,
from
and,
AFL
we'll see what
standard,
happens in the draft.
he'll be a
Obviously,
forward that
Kruger
plays second
comes in,
ruck.
He's a 197.
Even though I wouldn't
forward
be against
back
him
too.
playing
Let's
centre half
hopefully
back
he
because he
can,
does
make
move a lot
beneficial
like
than he
Darcy
has at
Moore.
Geelong. I'm going to let Steve Silvani talk some more because someone just told me to shut up. and Derek Hines sent him a message and said, "Can you shut up, Matty, and Sauce talk more?" So that's me for the day.
I'm getting on the pies. That's what I'm doing.
Finally,
I'll tell you what, Sauce, you can answer whatever Gareth in
Finally.
Templestowe wants to ask on 1300
Someone's told him
23
to
55
shut
48. Gareth, you got Sauce.
Yeah, g'day, Sauce. I was just wondering about the Hawks. Like, I know they're going to hit the draft hard this year, but I'm just wondering about any trade targets for them because surely they would get at least one person in the trade period.
Look, they may be involved in the trade period, but I think the Hawks they're going to attack the national draft, and I think they need to. I think their list is better than what most people think. They've got a number of youngsters coming through. I think Will Day is going to be a star. Matty spoke about their first round draft pick last year. The key position.
Denver Granger Barras, key back.
Another really, really good player. CJ, they've actually surprised me a little bit in terms of some of the plays that they got with either rookie picks or late picks that are going to be really, really good players. So, but I think they still need to go to the draft and attack the draft heavily, which I think they will this year, and they should get some really good plays with the picks, particularly with pick 5 and 24. So, or 20, yeah, they got 24 as well. So, they're on a bit of a rebuild. Obviously, a new coach he'll want to get young players through, particularly in his first and second year, and just see what else they might be able to top up with, whether that's through the trade period or what spills out from clubs at the end of the delisting period.
Oliver's in Bendigo, 1300 23 55 48. The Kogan Mobile Open line will be open the entire way through the Continental Tires AFL Trade Radio period. Oliver, fire away.
Hey guys, I was just wondering what's happening with Ollie Hanrahan this trade period.
Is it the dead-listed Cousins? Is Hanrahan up for on the trade table? Is he?
Yeah, he's been linked to.
I might have to
clubs,
take this
I
off.
think.
Oh well, I must admit, sorry, I'm not a cross.
I just don't want to be leaking any private
So
messages.
they
That's all.
he played some really good footy for Horse, and I'm a bit surprised by that.
There's always reports and stuff. So I'll just take
Yep.
this question for you, Oliver. Ask you or either of you two: Would you trade him? Would you hold on to him if you had him right now? Which they do.
They've probably got a lot of players around, his position and,
Yep.
and his ability. So maybe they just throwing it out there to see if there's any interest in him and maybe they can get something for him.
There you go.
I would have thought that he played good enough footy at various stages to keep his spot on not if not their list, someone else's.
A couple of months ago, David Zeta from Fox Footy, and I quote here, the Cats and the Suns have previously asked the question in regards to the 22-year-old situation at Hawthorn. So we'll see how it plays out. The Cats and the Suns got an eye on him. Manny is in Melbourne, 1300 23 55 48. A little bit about the Pies and Matty Rendell's chat about them. Fire away, Matty.
I was just wondering about, how we're going to fit everyone into our midfield. You got Dakes coming in, Finn McRae, Braden Sy if he stays. You got heaps of mid. How are we going to, fit them all in with DeGoey and Grundy?
It's a good problem to have, Matty. I was just talking about it off air. Pendles and side bottom. I said, does Pendles go to half back?
Maybe your signal's a bit out, mate.
You got the two Dacos boys. Josh played his best footy off the wing. Nick can play virtually anywhere. Elliott was really good in the midfield too this year. He played a fair bit in there as well. So Finlay McRae looked good. So it's a great problem to have. That's why I'm saying that maybe Sire has to look elsewhere because he's going to struggle to get in there. If they play Crisp and DeGoey and Tyler Brown in there as well.
There you go. Hope that answered your question, Matty. You can get involved, 1300 23 55 48 at Trade Radio. Find us on all the socials as well, or you can text us anytime. It is open 0419 187 3.
No, I don't think you did join.
The Continental Tyres, AFL Trade Radio. We are on. We are off and running. Of course, Continental Tyres. When you need
voice
tyres,
chat
ask
myself.
Continental. Jump on continental-tyres.com.au. A very quick break. Plenty more next.
With a Monopoly game at Macca's, every chance card could lead to an epic win. Will it be a World of Warcraft gaming pack or another tasty Big Mac? Simply scan your chance cards on the My Macca's app for more ways to win. End October 19. Full
We'll
terms
put that on mute for now. Be back to normal. No, for some reason the capture card has just kicked it. Like, I wouldn't be against going on it, but obviously, it's okay, now I'm having technical difficulties for some reason. Oh, there you go. Alright, you there, Kev?
Oh, man, what a busy day. What a fucking busy day.
On the other... Okay. Give me a second.
That's on, man.
Okay, so you are coming through the headset, which is good. Alright, you there? Am I coming through? Okay, it says I'm coming through. And for some reason it's yeah, it shouldn't be long before I fix everything. But yeah, man, what an interesting bunch of comments that were just made. Alright, are you there, Kev? Okay, now I can't get any audio on my end. This is when technology is fantastic. Oh, that's why. Alright, you there? Okay, I'm not hearing you for some reason. Right, yeah, am I able to hear you now? Alright, I might just have to go back on the other headphones in. Alright, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You there?
So, yeah.
Okay, for some weird reason I have to have both headphones turned on for it to work. So that's how great we're doing right now. All the things you think are gonna just work. Just they work, but they work in the most weirdest of ways. Yeah. Alright, I'll see if oh yeah, these guys are back, so we'll put this
They've
back
got
on.
too much talent not to play finals. But at the same time, they need to play a couple more kids throughout
Yeah,
the
just
season.
got new glasses on, so I've just got to try and make sure that I don't damage them.
Basically, look, I'm just wondering, with West Coast, they've got an aging midfield, and Redden won't, he won't go on after next season. And Shuey, I love him, but he's injury prone, and he is old, and Gaffy's getting on as well. And Chesky Six obviously has requested he wants to come to West Coast. You think, just a straight swap for Brander, who I don't really want to let go, but we can't fit him in, is pretty fair. They're both first round picks, and one key position. They're always more sought after. And he's a Melbourne boy. Kerno's injury prone as well.
Back in the early
and it
2000s.
just seems like a nice fit. But I get the feeling the Blues are going to want to play hardball. So yeah, just wanting your thoughts on that.
Yeah, look, I think Petreski-Seaton is a good fit for West Coast. I think, they do need to rejuvenate their midfield, and that's where
Yeah,
obviously
so with
Sam would like to play a bit more of his football.
the comments
so
that
I can
he
understand
basically
their
made,
interest.
he said Adams
And
was
then
a forward,
Brander,
Darcy was
is
a
he the right
forward.
fit for
He
the
basically
Blues? Look, they
said
probably
that Tyler
need
Brown should be played
another key
over
position
Hoskin
or two on
Elliott.
their list, particularly whether it's developing or someone of
That
the
last
age of
one
Brander.
is not
It's whether
too bad
they
considering
think
he made the other two
how they
comments.
rate Brander and whether
you
he's
know,
the
it's
type
still
of
a
player
bad
they
take.
want. I
About
can't
Taylor
answer that.
Adams being
So
fucking
from
the
a SWAT
forward
point of view, it's
borderline,
really
like,
difficult to say.
what the fuck
But,
is he thinking?
I think you're right with West Coast.
I have
They
no
have
idea.
got an oldish type midfield that they do need to get some plays there, and
It's
it'll be really
interesting.
interesting what they do, not only through the trade period, but also
But
the
Darcy
draft,
Moore,
what
like,
they do with their
haven't we
first-round
spoke
selection.
about the fact is
Beautifully
that
done,
he's a
thank you, Harry
fucking
and Campbell. I'm
defender,
going to give you about 15
not a
seconds to get a
forward?
question now. Fire away.
Yeah, Lepper came out and
Yeah,
said
just,
he's
on the
a
Bombers, do you
backman.
reckon,
So
bringing back in Peter
in
Wright
terms of
is
him going anywhere, he's definitely not going anywhere but being in the back line. So don't worry about that. But
That's a damn good
it's just
question,
more the
Harry.
fact
I
that
would be-
Randell has those opinions. That's more the main Well, it's not a concern because he's irrelevant at this point. But
help Draper out. Draper looks like he could be a good
all right, all
I
good,
think
Tom.
with Darcy Moore as
he's
well,
got
we
a
could
crash
always
and
try and
dash.
forward if we need
That's a good
to.
1-2 punch in the ruck and forward.
I mean,
then you're going to have two really good defenders.
yeah, like it's a tactic we can do at some point if we have to.
Take some pressure off Jones, who can just float around and do whatever he likes.
But the biggest problem with that is that, who's going to be centre half back if Moore's not playing centre
More on the
half back.
Bombers as we work through it. Today's big moments for Drinkwise. You won't miss a trade moment.
Now,
If you drink wise,
here's
Matty
something that
Rendell
popped
was all
up
over
because
North
I'm on the
Melbourne,
Collingwood
Collingwood
app
and
as
Liz.
well.
You can grab the full segment on the
Just
AFL
want your
Trade
thoughts
podcast.
on
We broke
this.
down the granny. We spoke to
So,
Long's list.
Ruth
Port
McInnes
Adelaide.
is a midfielder, right? And Nathan Murphy's a midfielder forward. So, is Reef does he play on the wing or does he play like in the middle of the ground?
I'd say Reef is going to be probably molded into like an on-baller, so he'll be similar because he's that tall midfielder. He might be taking obviously say someone like a Pendlebury, he's an on-baller, so when Pendlebury retires, that's the sort of spot he'll be trying to take.
He's 193 centimeters too.
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, he's tall. In fact, I'll get rid of trade radio because I don't think there's much more that can be said there, especially from a Collingwood point of view. But yeah, so if you want to get into it, yeah, so I completely forgot what the topic was. Yeah, so with Reef is potentially even when we picked him up, Reef was actually potentially going to be the best player out of the draft that we picked up. It's just because he had, I think from memory, he had a foot injury, and he just always had a couple niggles that always kept him out, here and there sort of thing. And then obviously with the COVID stuff, he probably would have, if COVID didn't happen or didn't cancel the rest of the season, he would have played out the rest of the season.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, he's basically like a Pendlebury type. But then we've also got, someone like a Poulter, where I feel in terms of his body, Reeve is more developed in terms of his physicalness, where Poulter isn't. Which is I think why when you saw Poulter was in and out of the team towards the end of the year, I think that was just purely because of the fact that his body wasn't ready for AFL. But give him 3 years and God, he's gonna be awesome. That's yeah.
Go on.
Oh well, I was just gonna say that when it comes
to medical sub or something at one point.
I think he was medical subs a couple times. But he definitely got dropped here and there just because he just wasn't. Like if you look at him, he's very he just doesn't have an AFL body yet. So when he gets an AFL body is when you'll start seeing seeing him play a lot more consistently and a lot more often. So we might have it'll be at least I reckon next year it'll be similar to what he was last year, to where he'll probably play. If he gets anything above a dozen games, I'd be surprised. But the main goal should be playing him in the VFL and making sure he gets his footy right, and then when he gets his body right in terms of like being physically fit, like physically like built, that's when you put him in the AFL when he's basically another version of Pendles basically at that point.
The Lions trail
Because it's not that he can't play AFL, it's just that because the AFL is so physical, it takes a lot out on you.
Oh, for sure, man. Definitely for sure. I actually forgot the trade radio was on today.
Yeah, no,
I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
want to be
did
rude
too.
about it as well and watch it while I was at the podiatrist. So I thought, no, look, I'll do the right thing, have it off. I can still listen to it during the week as well.
Brisbane haven't been able to set
I'll
up any
check
set
chat
shots of
as
goal,
well
but I'm
on
not
top
sure
of
that
that.
it's the forwards' fault. The ball has been coming
What,
in
my
way
chat?
too slow. You can't expect your forward to
Yeah.
kick a winning.
I don't think there's anyone else on.
Nah, I think Tom said he went for dinner or something like that, so he'll be back soon. I might give Tom a mod as well too when he comes back, because he seems like he's.
You know, with that you can do it like straight away, and the next time he
They are getting
comments
to the right spots to cut off opposition attacks. They just
as
Yeah, well, I mean, I
well.
wanna like announce it to him. I don't want to just like have him comment and then just be like, oh shit, I'm a mod now. I want him to have his own moment, if that makes any sense. Not that it's like I just want him just to be like, oh, okay, cool, instead of just like being surprised by it and just.
Well, I heard that Matthew Knights has left Geelong to, I think, West Coast or something. And what I heard, because now Geelong's cleaned up their assistant coaches now. There's been a lot of change to it.
Okay.
Been clean, but they've got the goal.
So that's what I've been hearing.
Collingwood
as well.
Enough, but they've been poor going in. Rather than going long,
they mentioned something about Carlton, like what would you have to give up for Adam Chera. Personal opinion, I think you pick 6 should get the deal done, but I think they might have to give him a player. I think knowing Fremantle, they'll go full on hard at that.
Gets some distance on the kick. Intercepts the ball very well.
Brisbane have been giving the opposition a chance to move the ball around freely, which is working because they're getting on top once they force a contest.
That's holding them. A chance to put one through for his side. Looking to kick goal number 2. What a kick, and he puts it through.
Yeah, have you looked up Jared Cameron? If you reckon he's if you're excited if he comes to the Pies?
That would be on what's his name? I have to have a look on Twitter.
Over the top of the pack, 40 metres from home.
Yeah, apparently we were interested in him last year, so.
Looking to kick goal number 2. That is a stunning goal.
So if he's going to pick a team out of anyone in terms of opportunity, we're obviously the most keen for him. But you never know these with this, because it's up to obviously the player to choose. But you would think that would be a good.
We came here hoping. At the end of the game, the scores are Brisbane.
I lost my 4 points in. Yeah, like you would think that would be like a bit of a decent leverage, I guess, in terms of getting him if he wants to come this way. But Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that.
I was just trying to figure out.
Alright, game day. Okay. Oh yeah, how did the appointment go? Everything all good?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm supposed to get the new orthotics in both my shoes.
Yeah.
Mainly
Yeah, I need to do that
because
too. I haven't updated mine in like 3-4 years. Need to get onto that.
problem is with me, I walk like a fucking duck. Like my feet are out. So I've
Yeah,
always had this
I
problem.
was born like that basically. My feet were out, shoulders were in.
It's mainly the right foot. The left one's not too bad. It's just the right one.
Yeah. No, it's one of the reasons why I mean there was other reasons to obviously like these players, but it was one of the reasons I attached myself to Shaw and Swan. Because every time they ran, they had the same running style as me. Especially like Shaw, I was shattered when we traded Shaw to the Giants. I mean, we obviously got Taylor Adams for it, but still hurt. Yeah, let's go. But at least it gives us options though, because as long as we get either him or Stengel, at least that, you know, shores up that, you know, we got good depth in that department.
Oh fuck yeah.
But I feel like with Cameron, like Stengel looks like he's a forward and he can't go anywhere else, but Cameron seems like he could maybe play, at the very least, maybe a half forward type and pinch hit in the middle, sort of thing. So, and I think he's a year younger than Stengel as well too. So, whether if that's too young, he might be, but at least it doesn't put pressure on him to play AFL straight away because we've already got a decent 22 as it is if we get everyone needed. Especially if we get Stengel with him as well.
Have you seen the one that Matt Redown said about Pendles?
We're back in motion. Guides it
What's that about Pendles?
That Pendles doesn't have to be in the midfield anymore.
Receives the handball and
Oh, with Matt Rendell.
sends the ball inside
Yeah.
50. Takes the mark.
Like you can put Jack Cripps in mid.
He's on fire.
Yeah, like he's not wrong in that. But I'd think you'd want him in there just for a bit of leadership as well. I mean, I guess the best example.
He did really well there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, because he says here I'm putting Cripps in the midfield with Bigowi and Tyler Brown. Pendles doesn't need to be there anymore. And it goes on to say here, I don't know, because Sweetwood says I don't often agree with Wendell says, but this hits the nail on the head. Pendles playing off halfback in a quarterback role that we've often spoken about. Yeah, I don't, to be honest, I don't know. Pendles is more experienced. We can say that. I guess if we have to, potentially that might be the way to go about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't see why we can't
we can
do that.
Yeah, we can have points in games where he's not in the midfield for sure. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of. I think his leadership is very much needed though. Like, one of the best examples I can probably give is the West Coast game when Jeremy Howe was playing, and because Jeremy Howe is one of our leaders in our leadership group, it just shows that there's a lot of respect and a lot of just a lot of calmness when our backline players have the ball. And I would feel the same effect would be for Pendlebury. Like, if Pendlebury's there, they're like, oh shit, okay, well, if shit hits the fan, we know that he's there to steer the ship, if that makes any sense. So everyone's a lot more calmer.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
So, there are definitely, even if he's in the midfield for 20%, but if he's in, but if that 20% is all at the main points in his, in the game, I don't really have anything against it. But I think maybe if it is just for one more year, just to, whether if he, or regardless if he has the captaincy or not, he still has the name recognition to warrant being a leader. But I think someone like that, like, it shouldn't be understated, like, how important he is when it comes to, you know, being that really good sort of like midfielder, but also has a bit of leadership about him. But then again, I mean, maybe Taylor Adams could be that, you know, that could take over that leadership role in the midfield. Yeah, it's just a question that probably needs to be answered and hasn't really been fully answered yet, I guess. Well, there hasn't been a resolution to it, I guess.
Oh, another plank of Collingwood's rebuild has been locked away with defender Trey Rusker signing a contract extension. The Western Australian has
That's fantastic. We need that.
Deal will keep him at the Pies until at least the end of 2023. Well, we all know that
2-year deal.
Ginnivan and Tom Wilson have both re-signed in recent weeks. And
That's
although he's 19,
fantastic.
he's played first of the 6 games of the season 4 before overlooked for 10 weeks. I think it's great. I think we can, you know, this team now, when we get the right players in, I think that will be a very dangerous team in the next couple of years for sure.
Well, that's the thing.
So, Pendles will soon extend his stay while Isaac Chuck is expected to win a new deal, but Cox, Sire, Thomas and Rental are awaiting answers on their future while Lynch is working through his options and Jack will imagine remains out of contract according to Mitch Cleary.
Did well to control the ball. Cameron clears the ball from the contest. Offhands from Myercheck.
I think that's good. I think...
Just leaves them in his wake. Great goal.
I don't know how good Chuck is going to be. That's the only issue. I need to see more.
I can't, at this point, he's a project player for from what I gather. He's definitely not taking anyone's spot in the AFL. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be against it going either way because he really hasn't shown anything. But then, you know, COVID's also screwed him around a fair bit too. He didn't get to have a full season.
Plays on now.
Yeah, but he's probably the first player to go once there's like obviously with the others mentioned as well, once there's a bit of a squeeze on like shit, we need to get rid of one player, who do we get rid of? If we're looking to get rid of, you know, who's the lowest player on that list that hasn't been gone yet, if Chug's not there, he probably will be the next one to go. Because like, from what I can see, he's not going to be, you know, making an AFL, or he's not going to be playing AFL like in the seniors. He won't be in there for at least maybe another 2 years. And if that's the difference between keeping him or say keeping who's another one, like keeping Jack or something. Why the smart? Okay, now my PS4's now kicked it. PS5's kicked it.
not
There you
getting
go, I'm
time
back.
to develop as well.
Yeah, sorry, man. I was just out for a couple minutes. Was just for some reason my capture card ended up crapping out on me again. I need to change it and get rid of it. But we should be good now. So,
Sweet.
whatever you said in the last minute, I'm sorry, mate, but I wasn't able to hear it.
Oh, that's all good. I think with the kids as well, like Reef and that, and scratch matches, or in the pre-season games, I think the more we see often, then we can go, yep, this player's ready, this player's not, that sort of type. Because I'm a bit worried about, especially with Reef and Liam as well, that coming into the AFL, you need to see more of their body of work and definitely try and go, right, this player's ready, this player's not. Yeah, I can see this guy playing. Let's give him a few games and let's see how he performs and just keep it like that as well.
Yeah. That's why even with someone like Bo, like I feel like we should be making sure we're keeping a really close eye on Bo. Just because of his hamstrings. Like you don't want to be having a kid like that having hamstrings, as many hamstrings as he's had this early, because you don't want it to become a theme. Because as I said, like I reckon he could easily be like a swan type of player.
He's got that speed on him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The same pace as Stain Swan.
He's got that burst speed. That's the best way to explain it.
A chance to put a second goal on the board.
Because he was a medical sub for the Brisbane game, Fremantle and Essendon game.
With the hit, showed good control. Haven't called his name too often
other than that,
marked by McCarthy. McCarthy, the recipient of the free kick.
he got injured. What game was it?
I can't remember now.
So he played Brisbane, Giants, West Coast, Essendon, Suns, North, Sydney, and Port. I think didn't play against Adelaide. Played Melbourne, Fremantle, Hawthorn, Brisbane, and Essendon. So he missed 5 weeks with a hammy, came back in the last 3 games. So I think he needs to look after his body a little bit more. I don't know, because he's only 186 centimeters. I don't know if it's due to maybe or what's it called, lack of body of work, like able to play in a few VFL games before getting selected, or
who's this for again?
Or with Bo, I don't know if it's the lack of body of work, like playing the VFL before getting picked in the AFL. Because I don't think he played many. I don't think he played in the VFL games. Because he didn't play in the first 2 weeks.
What, you talking about checkers, are you?
No, Bo, McCreary.
Oh, Bo, yep. Because you said 196 centimeters, and I'm thinking that's not Bo.
Yeah, he's 186.
Yeah, 186, okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
It was picked 44 in the draft, which I think that's pretty impressive. I really do
wasn't
think
Swan
that.
like pick 50 or something, so those guys can...
something like that.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, some of those guys can be, what's the word? They can go missing, they can, I guess, not have huge wraps on them, so they go cheap.
His best was 3-1 against Port and 3 straight against Essendon. And that was at the G as well, and yeah, on both games it was G. So I think that's pretty impressive. I know with the VFL we haven't had much of it, except for the early start we've had VFL games, and then all of a sudden, a stop start with that. So I think we're going to have to, hopefully there's no more lockdowns, because I think the plan is now is they're going to get 70-80% vaccinated rate, like both double dozens and singles, and try and get people out and about. So I think eventually might have to be vaccinated to go to the footy and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, it's gonna have to get to that point.
Because I know in the NBA at the moment, I think it's New York. So you got the New York Lynx and I think
the
it's
Knicks,
the Nets as well.
Nets of Brooklyn.
And the Brooklyn Nets, yeah. That I've noticed that. Well, when I'm hearing that, where they're at the moment, if you don't want to be vaccinated, fine, but then you can't go to any indoor events or gyms. So, and I think that's the same for the players. And I think there's one player at the moment who hasn't been vaccinated due to what is it? The religious thing?
Chris Paul, is it?
Not
it was like Chris Paul or
it's...
Kyrie Irving or something like that. I know one of them had a bit of an issue early on.
Check the YouTube ones that I've watched, because that's really interesting as well.
Was it Lou Williams? No.
Andrew Wiggins from the Lakers.
Okay. What's that, from the Lakers?
Yeah.
No, he's from the Warriors, isn't he? Unless if he got traded. Oh, last time I checked, he was playing for the Warriors.
Oh yeah, the Warriors, you're right.
Yeah. Had 28 playbacks in this video. Pretty good outing for me. If I can get around the 30 playbacks, that's I'd normally deem that a pretty good video at this point.
Well, that's it.
Let him up, well battled.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they can trade him as well, but the problem is, who are you going to trade him for? I think that's going to be the issue.
Trade who? Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah. Because you won't be able to play any home games. Because they're going to have to show proof as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be like tearing his house apart, trying to figure out if he has done it or not. Because, yeah, the NBA have been pretty aggressive with that shit.
You know what? They've got every right to do that.
To an extent. I feel like there are some people out there that are just being a bit too aggressive on it, though. Like the fact that people can't think for themselves, even if they're going to make a mistake that's either good or bad, regardless. I still think it's important for people to understand that, you know, people need to have a choice and they need to have their freedoms not taken away from them. And then just to understand that, you know, the government's not always looking out for us and they're not our best friends. So the fact that, you know, the government has, for people to understand that, you know, people don't trust the government and that the government is not the most trustworthy of people, you know, it goes a long way to understanding, like, hey, maybe the government needs to change and maybe not the people that are second guessing to get these needles.
I think the problem is as well is that the way it is with the rest of the world, that's where we're going into. I think for events like the footy and that as well, I think it's better because in that way you can, because you got like, I know with our members as well, like you got a few elderly ones as well that might have health problems as well. So I think it's better to protect them as much as possible. I don't know if the AFL is going to mandate it or not, maybe. But I'm just hoping that we don't have to worry about being in lockdown and being out of, you know, not being able to go to games as well. This year's sucked, to be honest, like, to a certain extent, like watching the team on TV, like, really, just going to the game would have been better. I'm gonna have a shower, man. I'll definitely be back. I don't know if anyone
Yeah, I
else
reckon
is
I'm
on
gonna
this.
head off at some point soon too, because it's nearly 7 o'clock. In fact, I might have one more game of this attempt trying to win the Lions game that we had in round 22. And once I get that, then I'll probably finish.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations as well. But I'll definitely be tuning to Trade Radio, see if there's any changes. I think if we do have some plays that we picked up as well, I might talk about them. Like
Yeah, I'm only going to be using it for Collingwood stuff, really. The only reason why I had it on before was because Matt Rendell was on it, and he was talking Collingwood, and I thought that, you know, there might have been some decent content, because he was going to say some stupid shit, and he did. So, there you go. That was basically the whole point.
Yeah, I think so I would have loved to be able to do. I had plans to do season reviews for Melbourne the Dogs. Today was meant to go to the doctor. I was meant to go to get my glasses, and that didn't pan out to the doctor part. So I thought I was sleeping for a little bit, and then got a phone call saying, you know, I can get in the week after. Other than that, so it's just like, oh, okay, you know, it doesn't mind me to the extent, but I would have loved to be able to get some content out today. Just even when I came back, it's just like, well, I had to go out. You know, I have to leave home by 4. It's like, that's pretty. It's pretty damn pointless in making content.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about it today. I can do it tomorrow. That's not the issue. But I certainly have to wait and see. I don't know if I'll start going in as well.
Oh, here we go. There's a Reddit post for trade updates. See if there's anything I missed. says here, Pies are confident in getting Lipinski and Kruger. Apparently Lipinski might be done through the preseason draft. There you go.
Oh, are you kidding?
And Jay Clark is reporting that the Herald Sun... Jay Clark is reporting the Herald Sun that Brisbane are considering making a play for Mason Cox, but they're also interested in Casbolt.
In Levi Casbolt as
and
well.
then Mitch Cleary is reporting that Trey Rusco is signed a 2-year deal, and that Isaac Chugg is expected to get a new deal as well soon. There you go. So Rusco and pretty much Chugg have re-signed. Cox may be going to Brisbane, and we're going to be getting Kruger with probably a 4th round pick and maybe a 3rd if depending on how things go. And Lipinski might be going to the preseason draft. Because my first thoughts on it was that Lipinski for a future 3rd and Kruger for a future 4th. That was probably how it was going to play out. But if Bulldogs want to play hardball, then we can say get stuffed and we'll use our future 3rd for Kruger, I think. So at least Geelong get a little bit more value out of that.
I think I might need to do that.
Do what?
Tell them to get stuff if they're gonna play hardball.
Well, what did we trade Treloar for over to Brisbane? We traded him for what, a 2nd and 3rd round pick. Like, surely they won that trade.
Plus second
I want to look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Because I swear, like, I remember looking in that trade and going, why the hell did we not get a 1st round for him? Why? So for them to turn around and say, you know, that they didn't win that trade, like, far and beyond the expectation in terms of what they thought that they were going to get, they kidding themselves. What does it say? Bulldogs sent pick 14 and a future 2nd round to the Magpies in exchange for Treloar, also receiving picks 26, 33 and 42 in return. So we got pick 14 and a 2nd round selection. And then Bulldogs got Treloar 16, 33 and 42. That is disgusting if they think that, like, if they think that we're screwing them over for getting Lipinski for a future 3rd, they can go get stuffed.
Oh, that's it.
That's screwed up. Pick 14 and a 2nd round. And they got 26, 33 and 42, which is basically, what, 2 2nd rounds and a 3rd? So, yeah, so we basically got a 1st and 2nd, and they got Treloar 2 2-seconds and a 3rd. If that's we basically got nothing. We just got a little bit better. All we got was a little bit better of a draft hand, and then on top of that, we then had to pay his salary. So if Dogs aren't gonna, you know, just give us a little bit of a, you know, pat on the back and just sort of like help us out a little because they got such good trade out of it, surely they can lose this one and take a future 3rd round, which is probably about right for them anyway. And then they wonder why there's bad blood between Collingwood and Bulldogs gets stuffed. Like looking in that trade, we practically gave Treloar up for practically nothing.
Pretty much.
Oh, there you go. Crack the 30 playbacks. That's good. Yeah, I reckon after this game, I reckon I'll probably end the stream and have a bit of a break. And then I'll be back on for Lockie's podcast. Yeah, that whole trade period pisses me off so much.
Check out on Twitter.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where, yeah, it's footy and footy is just a game, but it's one of those things like you invest so much in it. It's like, how the hell haven't we like surely that shouldn't like take away the fact that we still deserve value when it comes to trade value, and like if we get screwed over, we still can have the ability to be pissed off at.
Well, you got 2 in the chat already.
Yeah, I've got 2 at the moment. Yeah, I might go to about, I'll probably go to about 7, because I think Lockie's on at 7:30. I'll make my way for Lockie and get ready for myself and go on his stream at 7:30.
Yeah, I love Lockie, like he's genuine nice bloke.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
Yeah. But that's what I like about it,
Yeah, no, we've been pretty lucky to find all the people that we've had. Like, the community that we've built up for ourselves is pretty good. And that's just like the Collingwood guys. Then I think the AFL community that we have as well is also just as good too. Oh, thanks, Bella.
Hi, Bella.
Oh, I don't know if I did a check to see if the people that if the people that are watching the stream, if they can hear you as well. I might need to do that. If anyone's listening at the moment, let me know in the chat if you can hear Kev. Probably should have done that at the start, actually. My bad, Kev.
I'm just gonna have dinner. I'll have a shower afterwards, and
yeah, I think you
I'll
should be
come back.
okay because we didn't have any issues yesterday, and it was just a straightforward just voice chat. So I think you should be fine.
I'll keep an eye on the party as well, man. But yeah, I'll be back.
Alright, all good. Here we go, now we need one more to win the game. Right about just under 6 minutes to go, 4 points of difference, what's gonna happen? Oh, cop that, Oscar. Punch, good, Roscoe. Kick it. Yes. Come on, go, go, go. Oh, Karen. Yes. There we go, we're in front. Now I just need to hold on for 4 minutes. Wouldn't mind a goal for some breathing space. Here we go, Sidey. Oh, we got 2-on-1 here. Yes, Elliot. Yeah, talk this through, Ali. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on, Jack. Kick yourself a goal, mate. Kick yourself a goal. Drop that, he says. Yep, he's kicked 2. Oh, Grundy out of the ruck. Just taps it to himself. Doesn't need anybody else. Oh, JT. And that'll probably just about do it. Yeah, he's gonna wait till the end. To kick the sealer. To finish it off. Chop that, he says. Umpires get up by, I think, 20 points. There you go. Alright, I might try and see if I can get back the Trader Radio, see if there's any more to go on that.
Yeah, Hipwood's out for roughly another 12 months.
Yep.
Do they need that?
Well, again, he's coming in behind
Stay sort of playing that drifty, half forwardish sort of hybrid role.
There's so many questions marks with Mason Cox, and he's a pretty polarising figure, isn't he?
Let me ask you
in terms of
this.
his ability. So
if he plays week in, week out for any club,
yep,
is he good enough to hold down position 1, 2 or 3 in a key forward line?
Well, yes, but it's probably more likely a 2 and 3, not kind of a 1. Take the best defender, smart defender, sizable, quick, athletic defender. So I think he's got to have good players around him, which I think is like let's not. Most players play better when they've got good players around him, but that's down to Mason Cox. Where does he see his career? Does he just want to go to play consistent footy and go to a bottom 8 team? Say I'm going to get a 2-year deal at one of those clubs, or am I going to go somewhere else? Do I want success? Is he at that point of his career or development, in footy? Because remember, he's still an American. So, what's important to him? So there's so many question marks. And by the sounds of it, he wants to stay at Collingwood. So he wants to see this thing through. Be a one club player in a sense, and whether they have success, which they arguably won't, whilst his time's left in football, that he wants to stay at Collingwood and trying to help them develop under McRae.
That's this morning. Brendan Goddard and Nick Del Santo. Trade mornings talking about Mason Cox. Pies fans, 1300 23 55 48. I think Brendan Goddard made a really good point. I don't think anyone believes that Mason Cox is a first-line, forward-line player. I think if he's got players around him, that's quite obvious. So when that forward line was really clicking in 2018, he was the X factor. That prelim final, we talk about it a lot. His grand final, in particular, his third quarter was really good. And if he finds an opportunity where you've got a big forward already at the football club, and I think that's why Brisbane would work really nicely for Mason Cox. It is a stopgap. You're not going to get Mason Cox for 4, 5, 6 years. You've got Eric Hipwood, who's going to miss the majority of 2022. That ACL was done later in the year. I'll say around 17 or around 18. You're going to have Joe Danaher there already. Only guy that can goal in every home and away game. He is, and no doubt, a slightly disappointing final series from Joe Danaher, but he's a guy who's played really good finals before when he's had his opportunities. That's no concern. And you have Mason Cox in there. You can have a little tag team with Oscar McInerney in the ruck, and I think that's a perfect role for him. So Brisbane is a really good team for him. If he ends up at Essendon, which has also been suggested a little bit, then you're sort of hoping that one of these guys, a Peter Wright, goes to that whole new level. Or you're probably seeing a a similar situation as you are in Collingwood. Peter Wright was incredible against the Dogs when he just went bang late in the year in that big win that was part of that run later in the year. But there is the question about, is Peter Wright actually a first chosen forward as well? He's probably in a similar situation to Mason Cox. I've got him a little bit higher than Mason Cox, but then you're in a situation where if he has someone next to him, he's going to go to that next level as well with that second defender standing beside him. So it's an interesting one. Brisbane's perfect for Mason Cox because it is that stopgap as Eric Hibwood has to work through it. And you've got the guys like, Tom Fullerton who had, his moments, but is still so young in his footballing career as well. Just quickly, just on Essendon, Seb's in Essendon. Hello, Seb. What do you got for me?
Hey, Cam. How you doing? First of all, love armchair experts, mate. Love your work on that.
Makes two of you.
I just wanted to get your appraisal on how do you think the Bombers will go next year, just on the back of a young list, just more growth out of a young list. All things even, not too many trades. Maybe we'll hit the draft a bit more, but what do you reckon the best result next year for the Dons is, Cam?
I think win a final, Seb, and I legitimately think he can do that. If you, and we might try and play a little bit of Ben Rutten. He was on with Gary and Tim on 11:16 SEN this morning, and spoke about the fact that there are players there that they're backing in to go to the next level, to the maturity. A year ago, we didn't think Darcy Parish was going to be a top 10 midfielder in the league. It was incredible. If you look at someone like Ajay Caldwell, who had an outstanding preseason,
but radio finishes?
We haven't seen him on the park. We haven't seen, Cox later in the year probably petered out a fair bit, but gets opportunities to again develop and mature. There is no doubt that forward line, Jones is going to have to step up and take that next step as well. But the way that Ben Rutten has been speaking, and I think it's hard to argue it, what happened in the second half of the year with development, maturity, guys standing up in somewhat smaller or different roles, gives them a huge opportunity to propel off the back of what, to be fair, Seb, did you expect to see a final this year?
Not at all. I was shocked that we made finals, to be honest. Look, I'd like to think I'd try to stay as optimistic as I can, but I was realistic with, young list, a lot of changes over the off-season, new coach, a lot of uncertainty. So, yeah, it was a good result. But I just think if you're going to improve next year, well, we made finals. The next thing is just to win one.
Win one.
So that's the challenge.
Crawl before you can walk, in particular when it has been such a long period, of course. But I think the maturity and the development of these players, and Ben Rutten said it perfectly. I might try and get a little bit of him before we get out of here. I think this Essendon team should well and truly be looking to go at least 1 week deeper into 2022. And I know that the last decade hasn't been great to be an Essendon supporter, but this is probably the most optimism I think the football club can almost have for 12, 13, 14 years. Hey, very quick break. Seb, appreciate the call, mate. Kogan mobile open line is open, 1300 23 55 48. A quick break, plenty more next.
With a Monopoly game at Macca's, every chance card could lead to an epic win. Will it be a World of Warcraft gaming pack or another tasty Big Mac? Simply scan your chance cards on the My Macca's app for more ways to win. End October 19. Full terms at mcdonalds.com.au.
Safety is at the forefront of everything that we do. That's why Continental Tires subjects its tyres to more testing than any other tyre brand. With such extensive testing, Continental is able to ensure your safety and that of your family and fellow drivers. We ensure quality and reliability for a safe driving experience. When safety counts, count on Continental. Find out more about Continental Tires and our range at continental-tires.com.au.
So the garden tap connects to the tap adapter. The tap adapter connects to the tap timer. The tap timer connects to the hose connector. The hose connector connects.
Yeah, it's on a little bit of a break. But yeah, I think we'll probably go for another 10 more minutes, and then after that, that'll probably be it for, at least for me, for the day. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this stream so far, and yeah, we got one person in the chat, which is good. Yeah, expect more content coming from me as well. Probably wouldn't mind having a crack at, maybe doing some streaming tomorrow. We'll see how we go with all of that, and yeah, gotta wait for Trade Radio to go back on, but yeah, it's a bit bit quiet at the moment because, it's a bit of, calm before the storm. I'll probably go over some of the things that have happened today. So obviously Matt Randall went over his thoughts on how the Collingwood list is and how it's going in the future. There's not much point going into it, to be honest. Other than, he said a couple things that weren't really that smart. Had a couple of okay points, but they were, he was trying to still push just things that potentially could be a thing, but they're just not going to happen. Like things like, I think one of the best things he probably said, or there was two things that he said that was half decent. And one was that Pendles should be not playing in the midfield and should be having a role outside of the midfield. I somewhat agree, but not really. When you have a guy with just that much experience and that much skill, especially with a young group, and you're trying to get that group to gel together, you need leadership in that middle. And yes, Taylor Adams is a leader, and you can say that he's in that frame to become a leader. But I think Pendles at this point has established himself, regardless if he has the role or not. You need someone to be in there to obviously guide the midfield group in a certain direction, and Pendles is the one for that. The other one was, I think, Tyler Brown over Hoskin Elliott in terms of a spot, and that Hoskin Elliott won't be in the best 22. The best 22 part is a bit, I don't think that's factually, or not factually, but in terms of an opinion, you can have better opinions than that. But in saying that, I think Tyler Brown is going for Hoskin Elliott's spot. I do believe that, but just say that Tyler Brown is going to take Hoskin Elliott's spot, at least right now. That's not going to happen. Tyler needs at least another year or two to develop his body physically, and we're back, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, definitely right now, Hoskin Elliott over Tyler Brown.
He's going to head back to Geelong as an assistant coach. Tim O'Brien looking for a new home possibly as well. And Ben Rutten, we just mentioned, we talked a little bit about the Bombers only moments ago. An outstanding year, in particular the second half of the year, made the finals, got beat by a Dogs team who really had to play their best in the second half. It was a 1-point game at half-time. And Ben Rutten this morning on 11:16 SEN Breakfast was asked about what the Bombers are about to do in this trade period.
If we think it's going to strengthen and improve our squad, then we certainly will be. But I think, probably what we did this time last year was, I was really keen. I thought we had a lot of things within our squad that we hadn't uncovered yet. So I was really keen to, rather than looking elsewhere, to actually continue to develop and see what we've got on our list. And I think we had some really strong examples of that over the course of the last season with Jaden Laverty. We had going down back, Tommy Cutler, even in the last 6 or 7 weeks going down back, Darcy Parish. So to be able to continue to develop the guys that we had on the list was a really important priority for us. And I think there's still a hell of a lot of improvement we've still got within our list. So I'm really keen to exhaust that as much as we can over the next, 1, 2, 3 years. But certainly if we think we can improve our list externally, we'll certainly be doing that. But it's not going to compromise, some of the plans that we've got in place.
Would you like another big-bodied inside midfield type player?
Again, we saw probably 3 games out of Jai Caldwell, and I got some really, really high hopes on Jai. I think he was probably our best performer throughout the pre-season in terms of our training and our pre-season games. And right. I was just really disappointed that we lost him in the second round. I mean, he's a third going into his 4th year player. He's a big, strong inside player. He's got fantastic hands. I think he'll really be able to complement Darcy and Merritt and Shield and those kind of guys in and around the ball as well. So again, as another example, I think rather than looking elsewhere, I think I'm really keen to work out what we've got in our squad, because I think we've got a fair bit of capacity still there.
The Josh Dunkley thing won't be revisited?
No, look, it's not on the table at this point.
There we go. Ben Rutten this morning on 11:16 SEN Breakfast. Josh Dunkley this time last year. So desperately trying to get to Essendon, ends up staying at the Bulldogs, has a great start to the year, gets injured, comes back and plays some really good footy and being a part of that team that made a grand final. Joe Caldwell's a really good example 12 months ago, and there's a little less pressure when you are in your first year of coaching, I believe, so you can sit back and take stock, even though he was there in a unique situation under John Worsfold previously. We can take stock of what you got, and it worked nicely. No one, Seb earlier, our Essendon supporter who called up, was expecting a finals game, and it worked nicely. And I think, based on what Ben Rutten just said, you think they're going to take a fairly similar approach and back in the development and maturity of their guys who played well to take the next step this year, and also guys we haven't seen a great deal about, like Joe Caldwell, going into, year number 4. That's all thanks to Beaumont Tiles Trade Club. Visit iCanWin.com.au. Len, Francesca, Paul, tomorrow, 1300 23 55 40. We've run out of time. It is going to be back. We are back each and every day from 7 a.m. All thanks to Continental Tires. This is AFL Trade Radio. We will speak to you tomorrow.
Even though that have about another hour to go, I think we'll finish it off here. Yeah, so
whether it's in season, during the trade period, or
this as well. So with everything that's been going on, what was it? Trey Roscoe ended up re-signing a 2-year deal, and Chugger's not far away from re-signing. I'm assuming it's I think what was it? Because I think it might be similar to what Tom Wilson had. Because I think Wilson's still on a rookie contract, so that would be like a 1-year extension. I think he got. So I'd assume it would be something similar to that. And very, very high chances we get Lipinski and Kruger, with Lipinski being the one that we could take to the preseason draft. And I guess and I think that was pretty much about it. I might get the Reddit post back up, because I think that was what yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Lipinski was potentially going to go through the preseason draft, and Mason Cox was potentially going to go to Brisbane. So there was going to be a trade for that. So maybe get rid of Cox for a 4th round pick or 3rd round pick. Probably more 4th round, if anything. But yeah, no, thanks to everyone for tuning into the stream. We'll finish it off, as I said here. And yeah, if you like the stream, please like the stream. And if you want more of my content, please subscribe, because there will be more. And I would like to thank you all of you guys for watching. I hope to see you all in another stream and or video. Thanks.